Shalom, family. Excuse me. Shalom. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb. Glory be to God, and blessed be the Lamb forever. We live in a strange world. We can safely say that this is Babylon, a place where anything and everything goes. For the right amount of money, you name it, and you can buy it. Up to, including, you fill in the blank. It's whatever your heart and flesh desire. Literally, for the right amount of money. You know, we're being dragged. When I say we, I mean you, as a people, as residents of the United States, people who live here. You know that your best friend is at war on 7 fronts, as I said a couple of days ago. There's no way that they can win. But they knew this going in. They knew this going in. A force of 420,000 IDF soldiers stacked, and all of their support and Air Force. I'm sure it's another couple of thousand against 25,000 Hamas fighters. 420,000 against 25,000. Apparently, it never was about Hamas. It was actually a land grab. They're just timid, and they're not so straightforward. A land grab in which they are willing to kill and risk the safety of the whole world. It's like holding the world hostage. They say that by estimates, anywhere from 200 to 400 nuclear warheads or missiles, I don't know how they have counted these things, is being held currently by Israel. This is as Israel acts as a proxy of the United States. We're going to cut to the chase here. America does not act independently of Israel, and Israel doesn't act independently of the United States. They are one and the same. Everything that happens in Israel happens here. Everything that happens here and found acceptable, likewise in Israel. And we say that that is a fair statement, because it's a fair statement. At this point, we should think of the United States as as the state of Israel as no more than a proxy, an extension, if you will, a military base with a civilian component of the United States. I don't know how on one hand you say that you want peace, but you can't stop them, but you keep giving them weapons. And you keep saying that they're defending themselves as they attack everybody in sight, and you help them shoot down incoming rounds as if that's your responsibility. Is that your responsibility? Is this the United States or is this Israel? Is Israel independent of you? And is the United States independent of Israel? Because it's not looking like it is. You have been overrun, infiltrated by an enemy that at this point it is clear is acting in the interest of a foreign country. It is clear that you have been infiltrated, and the very people who shape policy are shaping it in the interests of a foreign country. We have a name for that in the United States, though. It's called treason. Yet no one says a word. No one says a word as they slow walk you into war. A bad one. A bad one. I'm going to try to hold my tongue tonight because it's dangerous. It's dangerous at this point. It's very dangerous. I mean, wow, man. Wow. So America's foreign policy is to defend Israel no matter what. That's the foreign policy, giving Israel leverage over the United States if that is the case. They understand that no matter what we do, Big Brother is going to be there. He might get killed this time, or he might not. But we do know he's coming. Wow. What liberty. All of this with U.S. taxpayers' money. Several different Israeli lobbying organizations are basically pillaging the United States. You are being pillaged. You are being pillaged by a superior race. Their words, not mine. Because they're really superior at nothing. Zero. Nothing. They don't command or control any economic sector anywhere. But they do sell guns, just like the United States. They really don't build shit here. Well, we got weapons that we can sell you. Would you like some of our weapons? We have tanks, jets, bombs, all kinds of bombs, 5,000 pounds of bunker busters, daisy cutters, loop-de-loops, laser guided, unlaser guided, dumb bombs, flying bombs, hissing bombs, sizzling bombs, burning bombs. Oh, and this one's special. This one's it's white phosphorus. This shit don't never stop burning. It's the equivalent of napalm. Think 1967, 1968, when we burned down whole jungles. That was what the people in them. Oh, wow. So I mean, what is the red line? What's the red line for you as a country, the United States, to say enough? Because I don't know how you can unsee certain images. Some shit I see, I can unsee it. Other shit I see is gonna be with me a minute, and another minute, and another minute. Sometimes even up to 4 minutes. And that's a long time. Just keep reseeing the image. So now, we have supporters of burning people alive, dropping incendiary devices on tents. I want you guys to notice something. Israel has never shown you one dead Hamas fighter. Not one. Not one have they shown you. All this bang, bang, fly over, boom, boom, they're terrifying everybody, burning people up, people running around, and you are psychological. You guys are strong. I mean, hell, boy, they're in big trouble too. I mean, man, I don't know who's the bigger monster. The supplier of the weapons who are to a military and a government that is in direct contravention of all known standard of international law and national law as far as the United States goes, and that makes we are willing to be complicit. We are willing to be complicit in it ain't even a good conspiracy. You ain't even trying to hide it anymore. We are we are man, I can't even get the word out of my mouth. We are complicit in ethnic cleansing and genocide. You're guilty as hell. A land grab. The man walked in the UN and showed a map about how much land he want to grab using your bullets and bombs. I say yours because I would destroy them all. That's what I would do. We don't necessarily need bullets and bombs. And that's why I tell folks, quit thinking that I am a threat like that. I am a threat the other way. Mother Nature belongs to us. I don't need bullets and guns. I don't need anything. I just need you to listen from time to time and recognize that there are limitations to God's patience and mine and mine. So some shit you just can't unsee. Damn. So now we into flaming people up. You keep setting the standard. I want you to notice this here. You set the standard. So now it's okay to burn people alive. In total disregard, I mean, do you think that they had intelligence that there was Hamas underneath those tents? They didn't. They knew otherwise. Hamas wouldn't be sleeping out in the open underneath tents. They're soldiers that know that there are enemy fighters. Why would they be sleeping underneath tents in the open within striking range of the enemy soldier? They're lying. They've lied about everything. Beheaded babies, raped Palestinian hostages. All that shit was a lie. It was a lie. But you want to forget, but you're not going to forget. You're not going to forget. We're going to make sure that you don't forget if we do nothing else. All a lie. Blocking food, blowing up food as they're trying to get food. Imagine sitting, man, the animals. Imagine. Let me stop here and just take a breath. Let me take a breath here. I don't want to bust a pipe or nothing. Imagine you starving and someone drives a truck full of food on the block, and they say, here comes the food. Here's the food. And the people start to gather around the truck where the food is because they're starving and they're thirsty and they're scared, and you blow up the entire area where they were supposed to be getting food at. And that's not a crime. How many Hamas members? Oh, I remember what you said. Hamas gets the food and they take it for themselves, and then they eat it all up and they come back for more food without an ounce of evidence of that either. You're just a bunch of liars and and you in some kind of bloodlust. But, whew, man, wow, wow. And the world watches. And the world, well, no, the world ain't watching anymore. The world is on your ass. In, in fact, let me give you your own battle assessment. Where you at? on this without the use of nuclear weapons. First of all, let's play a game. How did we get here? Well, starting about 30 years ago, a group of scholars, political scholars, most of them Jewish, got together and they started forming organizations, think tanks, such as the American Enterprise Institute. It calls itself a NGO, I believe, and it is a think tank. I guess that all they do is sit around and think. And they started thinking. And they came up with this plan that they had a list of countries, and I think, starting 30 years ago, we want to invade that country and that country and that country and that country. Oh, fuck it. We're going to just remake the whole entire Middle East. We're going to act like it's the freaking colonial period. And we're going to take some of this and make it a part of this, and we're going to take a little bit of this. Yeah, of course we're going to have to do a lot of bad stuff. And you can keep saying it's us, wink, wink, but really it's both of us. We don't mind because yeah, you know us. As long as you have our backs and you don't mind getting nuked, because you may get nuked in this. You may get nuked, and we may get nuked. That means no more Israel. Period. It's gone, bye-bye. Then there will be no use for a little bit of Lebanon, a little bit of Iraq, a little bit of Iran, because you're going to be dead. You're just going to be dead. Man, it's sad to say, but I say, how far are you willing to go? How far is, man, because you done went pretty damn far. That's for sure. You made me want to hurt you. That's for damn sure. But see, here's the deal. I pretty much stay out of man's conundrums. This is a conundrum. This is a conundrum. I know you think that I'm off the beaten path about the battle assessment. I'm going to come back to it. But this is a military conundrum. There's no military solution. There most definitely ain't a snowball's chance in hell of them achieving the map that they have showed the UN. We want to extend Iran and Israel and make it greater Israel. And then we looked at an old map, and that old map connects the stolen land of Israel to the ancient land, may we say, or the historical land of Khazaria. See, this is why we know you crazy. You a psychopath. It's a nation of psychopaths that basically worship the devil. I said it. That's just what it is. It's time for us to understand these things. That's all. It don't say too much more than that, but we do need to understand each other's position. At some point, one has to make decisions. Will we choose Baal, or will you choose God? Will you choose Baal, or will you choose God? Either way, it's going to be rough. Any choice you make is going to be rough. But I don't want to talk about your salvation or your redemption or anything else. Let me go on and give you, man, but I keep seeing that picture that I can't unsee. Goodness gracious. I know you've always done this to each other. I see images of France ablaze, Paris ablaze. You talking about, they tried to burn all of France during World War II. They just dropping, goodness gracious, man. So I understand that this kind of thing is already in your blood. You don't mind doing it as long as you ain't in it. Meanwhile, some of your soldiers, they're soldiers. Well, I gotta be fair, ours too, on the battlefield. They'll squeal like babies and be calling home and saying, I don't want to die, mama, please. I heard it with my own ears. They're like ghosts. They're everywhere. Everywhere we shoot, they just keep coming back. Mom, I don't want to die. I don't want to die, please. Son, here's the dad. Son, calm down. I don't want to calm down, young man. That's the right motherfucking attitude. That's the right attitude right there. Tell you to calm down. When a strange man is out to kill you with guns and you know his ass is out there with the intent on killing you, your father wants you to calm down as if he's on the battlefield with you. What a crocker, man, listen here. My suggestion, never mind. Anyway, here's your battle assessment. How well you've done. You've blown past Hamas, not decimated Hamas, but you did decimate 80% of the buildings there and damaged another 10% to the point that they're not even usable. Every university, every hospital, every gas station, every school, every library, every restaurant, every freaking bank, every water system, every fuel system. You have been effective against the people that is not even near your equal. Wow. And the world watched. The world watched with the United States money and bomb. What they currently have given for those loans, because we're gonna be wanting some of that money back. 100 billion. 100 billion in a year. Now I don't know if that's in addition to what they get every year annually, which is a lot of money, in the billions. I I did the math on it one night. At one point, at the height of it, it was over $1 million per hour. Put that in fucking perspective. $1 million per hour is what this country is giving. I ran the numbers. Don't argue. I ran the numbers. Sometimes I run the numbers. And on average, about $1 million every hour. I'm saying, well, holy smokes. That's a lot. And no one says anything as you suffer. You suffer. Over here, they want money for everything. Over there, health care is totally free. Maternal leave and shit. All kind of benefits that you don't even have here. Off your tax money. Off your tax money. Then they demand Germany keep paying them forever. Perpetually. I mean, are you guys under a spell or what? Are you do you need my help? Because I'm willing to help. I'm willing to help. But first, we have to see shit straight. Ain't nothing straight here. I mean, there's nothing straight. I know I've already said, no matter what I say, I love you. Man, listen, it is what the hell it is. I'm going to call a spade a spade. I'm going to call a spade a spade. Been through too much not to call a spade a spade. I've been called worse than spades, believe me. Believe me. So, Israel is at war on 7 fronts. 7 different countries. We're going to just call them fronts. They just bombing everybody. There's no way that they can win. yet they persist, while the United States has put its troops in harm's way. Now, what's going to happen? Because, see, we had to bring in the massive radar units to help the IDF shoot down incoming missiles that's being shot at them in retaliation because they over there shooting at them other people. And them other folks, how dare they keep shooting back? What the hell is wrong with them? Don't they know that Menachem Begum, I think I have that name right, said that they were superior? I couldn't tell that during World War II because Hitler tried to kill every last one of them. Now, how did a superior people get themselves in the position of being dealt with like cockroaches? How did that happen? Superior. Oh, well, superior weapons, yes. A lot of money, yeah. Money that power buys, yeah, and that's a lot of damn power. I hear these bastards in the United States. In fact, I know some of them come cheap. Some of them come cheap. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Each of us have a standard. Some of us come cheap. They come cheap. And now it's blood all over their hands. And I keep seeing that damn image. I just can't get the image of the upraised hand out of my head. And just when I thought that I had actually seen it all, I mean, I seen babies with, and I'm not going to go down the list. It'll only anger us both. But we can't put lipstick on a damn pig now, can we? We have to call it what it is. Who the hell bombs tents except someone? See, I got a military mind. You're not bombing the inhabitants of the tents because they are a threat. You are bombing them as a type of psychological warfare, you see. You are trying to instill in them the message that you can never be still, never be safe, never go to sleep, because you really want them to do is move out willingly out of their own land. And that makes you a devil. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And then you even went to the UN or the United States and suggested starving them. Let's just starve them. We'll block everything out and we'll starve them and we'll rape them and we'll burn them and we'll bomb them and we'll fire tank rounds. Man, we just got, you know what? They just should leave. Wow. You know we got a name for that. Ethnic cleansing. We've seen it before in my lifetime. Remember Yugoslavia? Yeah. At any rate, we've seen this before, but it's 2024, and the world's organizations seem helpless to do anything to stop a rogue state at this point whose only savior is a United States that veto everything using black faces and black hands to raise up in the air. And lady, man, let me asperse you a second. Not the dude. I don't want to say nothing to him with his flimsy ass, except you flimsy. Any man, I mean, you got to like your job. What is wrong with you? Any man that think it is a part of his job requirement and he like it so much, he's not in it for the work effort anymore. I think there's something else going on. However, we'll not get dirty. Not tonight. Raises his hand in support of what is clearly directly targeted civilians and children. Sniper rounds in the heads of 6-year-olds. I seen a group of 6 to 9-year-olds take off running. Shit, I'm gonna run from your ass too. You killing everybody. Stop. What? Stop for the fuck what? What you think? Stop. In a war zone where you have already shown that you is killing everybody wantonly, they supposed to stop. And because you, man, you guys are just dirty. You shoot a child in the back as he's running in the back, a grown ass man. And this other grown, flimsy ass man raises his hand in support of it. Now, he'll say, I won't put words in his mouth, but something, man, listen here. I don't even want him to speculate. Real men don't do that kind of shit. Real men over there are trying to say, let me at these other fuckers. Let's stop them. Let's do something. You know what? They don't know, man. Listen here. They got, I mean, women and the kids. How many? And then they've given the self, man, y'all don't even know, the right by formula. Almost, they have said that we have the right to kill. I heard out their own mouth. Mind you, and they were comfortable. 4.5. I don't know what half a Palestinian is, but we're gonna call it an even 5. Now maybe they done shot one that's already been blown in half and fallen along the ground, and they had to shoot him. They did now, but that's the only way that they can get to 4.5. But I think it's just a mathematical formula, so we're gonna call it an even 5. They call themselves. They say that they can kill 5 Palestinian civilians for every Hamas terrorist. And then they deemed everybody a terrorist. They said so out their own mouth. They said all of the Palestinians is a terrorist, both the young and the old. And they started showing you. They just on a rampage now, ain't they? May the heavens spit fire upon your head. Maybe you should start to run into your holes now. Maybe you should start to run into your holes. I mean, some shit don't stop on its own. And then, is this the first maniac or psychotic leader we've seen on the world stage? We'll have to go down the list, starting around the time of World War One. You have, you know how, man, or should I go back to Leopold and work my way forward? Go back to King Leopold in Africa and work my way forward. What I'm trying to tell you is the list is long when it comes to evil men in power. Later on, we'll say evil after all of the damage has already been done, all of the murder, all of the mayhem. Because, anyway, but then I digress because that makes no sense. We have the internet, so they'll have their version, but the internet has its own version, and cameras don't lie. Video don't lie. This picture, wow, wow. That's all I can say is wow. Well, it's become increasingly clear that the United States does not wield enough influence or power over its proxy, Israel. It has become increasingly clear to the point that rather than them say, we're not going to tell me if this makes sense. We won't sell you any more weapons if you keep doing what you're doing. They have charged you with genocide and other things like ethnic cleansing and, and starvation and using food as a weapon. They want to hang all of you by your necks and, and give you, well, give you the death penalty. Because that's what you're going to get if you ever end up in The Hague. Death penalty. Some of their soldiers who have put themselves up on TikTok. Listen, people, man, what's wrong with these people? Something's wrong with them, but it's okay. Something's wrong with, they say, everybody. Something wrong with me too. We all a little bit fucked up, ain't we? But that's okay. That's okay. I say, who gets to say what the fuck normal is? What is the base point here? What is ground level? What is zero? Can we please figure out what zero is, and then we can start counting. But until we start to figure out what the fuck zero is, as far as normal, then you don't get to define it. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to express. There is abnormal, then there's normal, and then there's subnormal. I'm just saying that you don't get to define it. You're not that good. In fact, you're quite bad at it. At any rate, battle assessment. 7 fronts. You'll have to name them. Let me see if I've memorized them. Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Hezbollah, Hamas. Have I left anybody out? I'm sure I have. Iran. That's 6. But I'm sure that there are 7. I'm sure I left one out. A country with a military of 425,000 against 7 countries, 3 of which are armed to the teeth. One of which they said that we are going to invade and take land, and they've been taking an ass whooping. They've been at a standstill. Now, what happened last time you went in Lebanon? I know what happened. You received an ass whipping, and you were dragging your tanks out of Lebanon smoking with young men with these death stare ass looks telling stories about, it sounded like this. They were everywhere. They were short, short range, long and long. And we just couldn't identify the enemy. And wow. Wow. But these same soldiers have no problem going in someone's home who they've murdered and killed, beat the kids, dress themselves in the adornments of Palestinian women, smell and take smells of their panties and shit, and TikTok it. You sick. May a bullet find you. Get back on the battlefield, okay? May a bullet find you. Find its mark. However, so you at war at 7 fronts, you didn't complete your mission against Hamas, because I'm still pretty damn sure that they shooting at your ass also. The news just don't want to say that. So you got Hamas at your flank or at your rear, in most cases, popping out the ground, popping your ass. So, yep, that's about 7. And you have not a snowball's chance of hell in winning, and they're raining fire on you, and they really raining fire on you. You raining fire too, but man, you can get hit from all directions. So what does the United States do? They bring in a damn huge ass radar station. Now, here's the rub. Here's the rub. They very well could have trained IDF soldiers to operate this new multi-million, I think 800 million, some shit like that, radar station. They could have trained IDF personnel, IDF soldiers to operate this station. Instead, they send 100 soldiers that they say is going to operate the station. Now, if I am Yemen, Syria, Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah, Lebanon, I will be promptly shooting at your radar station. But as soon as as one of my rounds, take out your radar station, and that means collateral damage, but really I'm shooting at your radar station, and your soldiers end up dead because they work at the radar station, you gonna want to say that I have attacked you, but you have put yourself purposely in the line of fire. Where have we seen this before? Vietnam. This has remnants and shades of Vietnam. How we got damn you. Damn you. Y'all need a whole new playbook. You need a whole new playbook. So now America is in the direct line of fire with U.S. troops on Palestinian or Israeli soil. Now imagine that. Imagine this. And this is how you will be sucked into a war. Or here's like a scenario too. The United States wakes up and say, "Hey man, our people tired of you. Most of them don't even like you. All these images of decapitated babies and you been blowing up bodies and shooting kids using sniper rounds. Who shoots a child from 100 yards off using using sniper rifle and scope? What the fuck? I would just go in. It's more humane. Oh man, you're a coward. But anyway, think about that. Think about that. Who does that? And you still think that these are God's chosen people? Well, they hate Jesus. And I dare say at this point, I know I'm not supposed to hate listen here. Well, let's just say touche. And likewise, not a problem. They hate Jesus. Now, ask yourself this. How can you love the Father but hate the Son? How can you hate the Son but hate the Father? But that ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about battle assessments here, okay? So you're on seven fronts. So fucking scenario one is that the United States intentionally entered this war while making it look like, well, they attacked us and blew up our station. So now we have to attack Iran. We have to attack Russia. We have to attack the Chinese and the Taiwanese. Well, not the Taiwanese, but the North Koreans, because they doing this. Man, listen here, man. All this over what ain't yours. All this over what ain't yours. How many are you willing to kill? I know that you have in you up to 10 million. We know that based on King Leopold, who killed 10 million Africans. Now, people wanted, here's an antiseptic version. They were worked to death. How the hell you work to death 10 million Africans? I mean, you can't work me to death. I would just keep laying down. You crazy. What you do? Hold your gun on me? Shit, if you shoot me, it ain't gonna be no work done. Everybody just lay down there at the same time. And just close your eyes and clasp your hands over your ears. We don't know which one of us he gonna shoot. But he finna find out real quick it ain't gonna work. Shit. Work me to death. Are you but that's the cleaned up version. No, not quite. He did whatever he wanted to do to and with them. Period. 10 million. So when we know you got 10 million in you, so that means you got a long way to go and a short time to make it. A long way to go and a short time to make it. But we do know you got it in you. That's in your own history. And I ain't even, man, it's unnecessary. You know that you got it in you. Shit. Do I have to take you down memory lane? Surely I don't. But I will, if need be. But you're just a bunch of killers land grabbers, imperialists, colonialists. This is why, after they have stolen everything by function of law in the last 50 years, by function of law, fucking agreements and policies typed out and argued out and fucking promulgated at the level of the United Nations. But now that the whole power paradigm has been shifted forever, it no longer works for you. So now you have a new way of thinking. The new way of thinking is to get rid of the law and then say, we are going to be a nation of rules. I mean, in a world of rules, not law, rules. I mean, how'd you put it? Plan-based rules, order-based rules. Wait a minute. That don't sound like law. And who's going to be writing the order and the rules? Well, you know, who always write the order? I mean, what are you asking me? You asking me if the same Western thinking, well, we're going to want to, yeah, of course, because will you just leave, sir? I feel like I'm being baited. You need to just leave. This interview is over. In the meantime, we finna knock this off right now. Have a little fun. Listen, let me set the scene. A white reporter. This is just for descriptive purposes only, okay? Because I want to set the scene. A white reporter is asking Obama, why is it with the stroke of a pen or executive order, or you can give other groups specifically what they're asking for, but you cannot tell blacks anything that you that you are you're gonna do for them specifically. And Obama turned red. I mean, you could see. I mean, he was like, "How dare you, son of a bitch! What is your name? You are so fired. As soon as I leave here, I mean, I hate this man." And you know what he said though? In response, he said, America doesn't work. Hold on, hold on. His words, hold on, hold on. He stopped the man. Hold on, hold on. America doesn't work that way. I'm confused. Yes, it do. It's working that way right the fuck now. I'm so confused. I mean, so what part he confused about? Because if he say that America doesn't work that way, then there must be a how it works and some political mumbo jumbo as to why it can't be changed or altered. I'm confused. I'm confused. But he's confused too. See, he's confused too. He wants to take a fucking reality and make it a non-reality. He wants to live inside of his bubble. He don't want to be like so many others. Don't like to be put on the spot. I recommend when you put on the damn spot, tell the truth and you say it loud and be done with it. Shit. And after that, quit it. Anyway, that's too far off the beaten path. Listen, so you have war on seven fronts with no way fucking and they're raining fire on you. The United States is about to walk us into what's going to be World War III if it gets kicked off. Or the third scenario, America wakes up and say, listen, man, that's far enough. We're not getting, we don't want to disappear. I mean, you know how many warheads they got with nuclear warheads? A lot of them. Enough to destroy the United States three times over. And I know what you're thinking. But we can shoot back over it. We can shoot back at them. We can kill all of them too. Well, but then we're going to be dead and we won't enjoy it. What are you saying? That is scenario number two. Here's scenario number three. The United States backs out, and then Israel decides, well, we will use our own nukes then. Who shall we nuke first? Should it be one of those Europeans that won't help us anymore? That's saying they're going to blockade us and have a weapons embargo. Some some of you people in the West are waking up. Kudos for you. Don't sell their ass nothing else. Don't give them nothing else. And when this is done, you ban, they got shit coming their way. Now, if they use their own weapons in a nuclear first strike, then they have ensured their own end. Of 90% of its citizens, guaranteed. 90%. The rest will be alive and inside of holes. But when this thing goes off, it tends to suck all of the air out of everything, including the bunkers. You'll see. Sometimes bunkers work, sometimes they don't. At any rate, it's just a bad deal all the way around. It's a bad deal for a maniac to. But then I started thinking to myself, this is not really him. This is, this is the devil's last hurrah. His last hurrah. He wants to expand influence on the world stage. I mean, that's one of the most evil places that you can be, even when they ain't at war, which is never. Okay, but here's something that they don't understand. Or do they? No, they can't. You're no longer in freaking control. You're like a damn crash dummy. In fact, you are a crash dummy. Okay? One big ass crash dummy. Okay? Anybody who has served any kind of time know exactly what I'm saying when I use the term crash dummy. Oh man. But you have to understand, this is Satan's last hurrah. I don't know where he's going with this. Everything about him is so man-made. I'll use armies made up of men. I'll use weapons made up with man's hands. I will use strategies using their bodies. Man, that shit sounds juvenile. And he knows it. That's how we know he's desperate. That's juvenile on this level. That is juvenile. What does he expect the world to do in response to the use of nuclear weapons? All out destruction with everybody shooting nukes at each other? Because that would be the end game. Y'all should do like me. When you can no longer run, just get on your knees and put your ass in the air and and just hope for the best. But so what is their end game? This is haphazard as hell. Because the way he explained it, he has to take a lot of land, and he can't even get past Lebanon. Iran and others is raining fire on them. Now they're raining fire back, but they're raining fire on them daily and nightly. Whew. And you are a pampered people. You can't last much longer. Not your citizens, because they're pampered. They are pampered, okay? That would be like attacking I'm not going to say that because that would be rude. But it would be rude because I mean pampered as an insult, soft, coddled. Used to eating at outdoor restaurants with $5 coffee mugs and shit. You know, they're not going to hold up as citizens too much longer. And that Zionist wing in the Neset, well, their days are numbered also. What will happen when this ends? Because if it ends like right now, Israel will, and they know this, and the United States knows this too. Israel will never be a member of humanity or of mankind in the world ever again. They will never be accepted anywhere they go ever again. It would be like living in a forced pariah status upon the world stage, in which the only thing left is to make more war because people are not going to do business with you or trade with you or buy any of your goods. It just gets ugly. It just gets ugly. This is why I say their only way is forward. They have literally said we have to win every step. We can't go wrong in this at all. We're not talking just about the battles on the battlefield. We are talking about politically, geopolitically, arguing and debating amongst grown men of foreign national. Man, this shit is way sideways. And no one's listening anymore. The West has lost control of not only Israel, but what it has built as a system of capitalism and trade. And it's never coming back. This will be the cost. So they too have no choice but to make war on the indigenous people of the world. They have no choice. It's either that or they have to reduce their living standards by half, at least half. And whew, that's scary, ain't it? Some of us, we can do it, but trust me, in Western cultures, reducing your living standards by half across the board, that's just too fucking much. But they put themselves in that position of never-ending war. They have to keep this shit going. It's free resources, cheap labor, and the only way that they can do this at this point, because all of the countries that have resources want absolutely nothing to do with the United States or Israel or France or Britain or Germany. That they want them out their damn lands, and they're saying, will you please go? And the United States and France and indeed the Western hegemonic organization known as NATO was, damn, I sound so intelligent. Sometimes I just catch myself. But that's calling itself NATO as it loses its influence, meaning they no longer have the ability to replace puppet with puppet. And their puppets are being overthrown and kicked out of office, not just kicked out of office with just rebels, but with the support of the people on the ground by the millions. That means they have to kill millions. This is how I came up with it, with the whole 10 million thing. Okay? It's not factual. It's not a formula, but I just wanted you to know how my mind works. Okay? You got to kill millions. And we know that you have 10 million in you. You got that many in you again. Because unfortunately for you, anyway, before this conversation goes sideways and you think of me as an enemy, which is 50-50. 50-50. That whole status thing depends on you. Like I said, will you choose Baal, what is right and wrong, and the Ten Commandments and the Bible and the belief in God and Jesus and all that jazz, or the disbelief in all of that, I mean, or will you choose God? That's what it really comes down to. It's a damn shame that I had to say all of that as if I really have as if that is my position. That's my physical position, political position. My spiritual position is totally different. They don't always line up. Sometimes they are diametrically opposed, and it takes me a minute to square them, to make them agree. Spirit has to agree with the physical realm. I'm just saying, these people are crazy, and they've painted themselves into a box with no way. If you want to bring wrath, the wrath of God and the angels and all of this stuff here, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And I can tell you now, the angels are in a sort of a tit-for-tat mode. Look across your landscape. What ain't burning? What ain't flooded? I rest my case. I mean, in Babylon, what ain't burning and what ain't flooding and what ain't out there waiting on your ass? Think about it, folks. Before this shit go all the way sideways. I'm sure it is, but I would like you to be intellectually honest about it before we slaughter each other. There's no real reason for us to not be intellectual and use our swords at the same time. It's a battle of good versus evil. I'm good, and they're evil. That shit that's in between that they call politics, I have absolutely no interest in it whatsoever, except as a leader. And not even then. It's a simple fact that they leave no other choice. It's either God steps in or everybody dies. God step in or everybody dies. This is clear. Is it not? Of course it is. All one has to do is watch the news. It is clear. These people have in their head that they're going to run into underground bunkers. Man, these people crazy. They're going to run into underground bunkers and survive a nuclear strike, even though they are the main ones that has created all of this havoc because they wanted to and got paid to do. Or they built this big high-tech ass ark mimicked off Noah's ark that's going to hold all of the elite. And they trying to sell it. These people crazy. So you're going to float on God's water in an ark that you built using his material. Because if it came off this planet and you built it with it, well, it belongs to us. So we don't want you, well, you go right ahead then. But you be careful about that ark now, you hear? Shit. And you elite. Think twice. Because that means we will know exactly where you are. You out there in that big ass boat, replete with shopping malls and stores. I mean, this motherfucker, wow. This is from the same man that said human beings don't have a soul and that they're now hackable and edible. He said this. He said that human beings are now hackable. They have no soul and no spirit. But as soon as he see anybody coming near him with a angry look on their face, wielding a meat cleaver, watch him take off running. He's gonna run. He's gonna run. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll source. We'll seven. I'm one.